and I just drove from Oakland. So if I'm a little discombobulated, please forgive me. I stopped in Eureka on the way and visited with Richard Johnson, who is the kind of chair of the county council, Greene County Council there. So I'm doing a lot of traveling right now on this campaign. I've never held political office, but I've done an awful lot of organizing. So I've been active with Physicians for Social Responsibility. I started the first West Coast chapter of that in 1979, I think it was. Let's see, I've run the Albion Community Center for years called Touchstone, and we did everything under the sun there. We fed the homeless, we had music, movies, childcare, needle exchanges, healthcare, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I would like to hear from all of you why you're unhappy with Mike Thompson.
Mike Thompson is a corporatist and a militarist. He is supporting in every single vote, in every single action, the U.S. empire that is basically enslaving the rest of the world in order to prop up this empire. And I want him out of Congress. He does not represent me.
Well, I just remember writing to Mike Thompson when the United States backed the coup in Haiti. And he wrote back and said, well, there were some irregularities in the election, and I don't know very much about it. I have to do some research. And I thought, okay, so with the United States financed and orchestrated a coup in another country, and that's his stance.
He voted for the Patriot Act. He voted against the Truth in Lending Act, which would have reformed the predatory consumer mortgages, which are going on right now, completely against that. He voted against the Energy Independence Act, and these are all in the last several rounds here, so this is all brand new stuff. It would have provided tax credit for renewable energy incentives. It was a climate change review, emissions controls, completely against it. He voted against the accountability in contracting, and this is pretty much an anti-Halliburton type bill. It provided congressional oversight on no-bid contracts, completely against it.
I believe he's on the House Intelligence Committee, is that correct?
He is.
And with all that's going on in terms of torture and unbridled CIA illegal activity, and not like a word, you know, about any of this. And I have called his office on numerous occasions about that, and have really gotten nothing.
He voted against modernizing our HIV/AIDS and treatment setup and for supplying money to inner cities to set up AIDS clinics. These were not for, this was for women and children basically, so it wasn't like it's condoning a lifestyle that gets you AIDS. It wasn't like it was a heroin clinic or anything along those lines. It was purely for women and children who didn't have the money for the drugs. He was against it. He's voting for immigration law enforcement with the Republicans, and he's been doing that for the last 3 or 4 years. He's voted against supplying infrastructure to Afghanistan that we blew up.
I think the facts say it all.
He voted with the GOP on the Bankruptcy Abuse Prevention Act to reform bankruptcy and make it harder to get out of it. And there's a bunch more. I won't go on. I have 2 pages of this, but my personal issues with him are his votes. They're very Republican. They're not interested in social services, and they're not as liberal as he would present himself to be.